Thanks. State of the market. February 2009 statistics. If you look at your notes, you're going to see some numbers down, which is good, some numbers up, which is good. Housing supply, almost down 3 months worth since last month. January was the highest housing supply that we have ever had at 14.4. We are now at 11.6. It's entirely possible that it will go down to 11.4, which is a solid 3 months. But we are almost 3 months down from last month, which is awesome. Looking back through the charts, and you'll see the top chart that you have on the 2 charts on one page. The top chart is showing a comparison of units sold versus the active residential inventory, which gives us the absorption rate. But you can see that our units sold go back to 1998 volume. So we're back to 98. And interestingly, the chart right below it shows comparison of units sold versus average or dollar volume of residential properties sold. And both of those are at 98 levels. And we have not, since we've been doing these statistics, have had the sales volume and the unit sales be at the same level. So not that you want to hear that it's at 98 levels, but it is at 98 levels for both. And to me, that is a good thing. So the dollar volume, sales were down 15% 09 versus 08. The total dollar volume was down about 19%. The average sale price was down about 18%. The active residential inventory does continue to decline. We are lower now in 09 from 08, from 07, and we even dipped below 06. So inventory is going down. We talked about leasing last month, and I said, you know, the method doesn't matter. It's just the results that count, and as long as our inventory is coming down, that is a good thing. Properties subject to lender approval, we talked about that last month. It was at around 53% of the sales in January were subject to lender approval, be it REO, HUD properties, or short sale. This month, we're still about the same. It's about 50% of the sales. That trend will continue for some time to come, which is one of the reasons why we have sent several times, and I'm going to send a couple of more reminders out. There is available to you the CDPE, and to me, it's not about the letters. It's about the education. You can have all the letters after your name you want. In fact, most of you know I'm a BMA and I'm an HSG and some other things. Some of you may not know what a BMA is. For those of you new to the office, that is a new designation that I created last year as a result of a conversation with an agent. Many of you probably qualify. It stands for busted my ass. So any of you who worked hard last year, you too have earned the BMA designation. And so letters really don't matter. It's the education that goes through it. But when you look at 50% of the sales, 50% of the sales, potentially 50% of your income could be coming from these types of properties and sales, REOs, HUDs, short sales. You need to get educated on the process. You need to know how to do it, because just exactly what Nick says, we need to provide the truth to our clients. Last month I talked about telling the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth. And if you'll recall, or if you know, have any of you ever been in court? I'm the only one that's ever been in court? Oh, come on. What do they do with the witnesses? They swear them in. And the purpose of swearing them in is to what? Hopefully get the truth from them. And that's what I contended last month, that our sellers, our clients, need to be swearing us in before they hire us. So that we're going to tell them, we're going to provide them the truth. We're not going to sugarcoat it. We're going to tell them what the market is. We're going to advise them where they need to be, price-wise, positioning, what a condition. And we're also going to expect that in exchange for us providing the truth, they're going to provide the truth back to us. Here's the only challenge with that. The truth requires responsibility. It requires responsibility on both our parts, and exactly what Nick was talking about, the payoffs. I have been a big advocate, and in the last 6 to 8 months I have said, when we're taking listings, it behooves us, it behooves the seller, for us to get a preliminary title search. Get the authority to get the payoffs. Don't rely on the seller. Bless their hearts. They're going through some rough times, some of these sellers. It's a tough thing to admit to somebody that you're behind in your payments. Do any of us want to admit that to somebody? We've all been there, I'm sure. I've had those times in my life. I was a single mom with 3 kids, and you have those times. But it's a tough thing to say. The easier thing to say is, give me the authority and I'll take care of it. So they don't have to talk to you about it. You talk to the mortgage company. But getting the authorization to get the information so that you, in turn, can provide them the best information when it comes to that. And then let's not forget about the buyers. We owe the buyers all the information that's available of the programs that are out there. Not just the low rates that Bev talked about, 4.625, can you believe it? For those of you who are around in the 80s, I said to Bev last night when she told me, I said, I remember saying they'll never go below 12. And here we're talking about 4.625. It's just mind-boggling. But with buyers, we need to provide the information to the buyers that's out there. The programs that are available, the FHA loan that you can get with as little as 3.5% down payment that can even be gifted. The OFA programs, in fact, Ray Edwards, he must be the OFA expert, because and last night I got an email from him saying, here's some more information. But there are some great programs. OFA has reintroduced their financing for first-time home buyers. They also have some new program, and they also have the mortgage credit certificate. Ray can tell you far more than I. I can go to the website and get you the information. The point being, you need to know that information. You need to go get the information so that you can provide it to your clients and direct them as to what's best for them. So and the other thing is the rural housing development, those loans. There are still 100% loans available through them. And in our market area, we have those areas that cover rural housing, and that can be a great benefit. I know there are a couple of agents in here who have taken advantage of those programs as well. So in closing, I'm going to leave you with this thought. And you know I get my thoughts from a variety of sources. But this is, economic anxiety creates paralysis. Engaged people create results. There is no doubt we have seen paralysis with our clients, particularly sellers. But I think in many cases we've seen paralysis with buyers. They're a little concerned about the economics of today's market. Is this a good time to jump into the market? There hasn't been a better time to come into the market. We have favorable housing prices, lots of properties to choose from, interest rates that are going lower, unbelievably so, and it is a fabulous time to buy. But we need to become engaged. We cannot become paralyzed because other people choose to be paralyzed. We have to engage in the market. People will continue to buy and sell houses. I was at a doctor's office the other day. The receptionist, you know, I was a new doctor and I was filling out the application, and she goes, "Oh, you're in real estate. Must be bad." I said, "What are you talking about? It's a great time to buy." She goes, well, I guess it is, but are people really buying and selling? I said, "No, you gotta be kidding me. People are buying and selling real estate every day. Do you realize that 50 homes a day are selling?" I mean, she sat there and was in shock. She says, "You're the first person I've ever talked to that ever said anything positive about the market." You know, I heard that all last year from reporters when I was talking to them, the president of the board. But we need to become engaged. We need to be sure that we do everything we can so that we're the ones that they choose to work with. Because we are engaged, we have gained the information, and we're providing it to them.